Welcome to Healing Your Families, where we address 6 areas of help for families: emotional, financial, mental, physical, social, and spiritual. And I am so excited. This month we've been talking about our mental well-being. And I have an expert. Actually, she could address the spiritual as well. But she is a motivational speaker and an EmpowerMentor. And I'm going to ask her to tell us about that, what that means. But her name is Delinda Layne. And I've known her for a couple of years, and she is a charming, vivacious, energetic woman. I'm so excited that she can join us. Delinda, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Just so happy to be on the show. Thank you for asking.
Okay, now tell me what an EmpowerMentor. Tell me about that.
Well, somebody asked me about that one time, and I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. I kind of like how that sounds. And basically, I don't believe that anybody can empower anybody else. But I can mentor you as an EmpowerMentor. I mentor women to empower themselves, because I think we're the only one that can, and through the Holy Spirit breathing through us, He can. But, trying to, I can't do anything to make that change in you if that's what you want. But I can be there to give you ideas and help you realize what your strengths are and help you step into your God-sized dreams. So that's the part that I mentor women to empower themselves.
I love that. Sometimes we wish we could come across someone who just has a magic wand and can make it all happen. But I love what you're doing. It's much more accurate. Now, I noticed on your email signature, now before we get into this, you have a lot of distinctions. You have quite the background in public speaking. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
So you might be talking about the John Maxwell,
Yes.
John Maxwell team. Well, I have loved John Maxwell for years. When I was in Mary Kay, years ago, I first came across John. And at that time, I didn't realize how amazing it was going to be. I had the opportunity then to be part of his team and stuff, and I didn't. And now all these years later, so about trying to think, pre-pandemic, I went to one of his big events and got certified in DISC, which is DISC, which is a way of communicating, learning how to communicate better with people. And so just through their program of being a speaker and also as a coach for those who might be interested in that. I have this thing, this is just me about coaching. First of all, I've never liked the word. So I'm crazy. So that's why we came up with the EmpowerMentor, because I think it's just so much more than what we think of as a coach. And I'm not downing anybody else. I just do things a little different. So that's why I wanted a little bit of a different name. But when a woman might be struggling with something, and very often I find it's because her lack of self-esteem or her negative self-talk, I can come alongside her and one of my spiritual gifts is encouragement. I mean, I cannot not tell somebody how great they are. So I'm like the proverbial cheerleader. So when somebody needs that, I'm always happy to come alongside and be that cheerleader with a push.
Well, that's when I first met you. I noticed you had gathered a huge following around you. You have your Fun, Fearless Female Facebook group, and you organize events. And I can tell you do that. Women flock to you because that's what you do.
And like I said, that's just my God-given gift that has been, he's had me focused that way. So I'm glad you mentioned Fun, Fearless Female, because I want to invite every woman to come join. So if you're like-minded, if you would love to encourage others, if you, mainly if you're a believer, but if you're a spiritual woman who really believes there's something greater than yourself, I'm going to just put it that way, then we invite you to join us, because it is a place to be safe. You can you can say, thank you, Lord, for this, or, boy, I need some prayer, whatever that is for you. And being part of the Fun Fearless Female global community of Christian women. And it's a Facebook group. If you just go look at Fun Fearless Female Global, it'll immediately pull up. But there's several other Fun Fearless Females. So just put that global on the end and you'll be able to join us. And it'll ask, how did you hear about us? And just say me or say on Emma Lou's show, whatever. So.
And look for the pink, right?
And look for the pink, yeah.
You love pink.
Okay. I do. It makes me happy.
Now you chose the title, Take the Girdle Off Your Brain. Oh, that sounds like you have a lot of really juicy things to say. How did you choose that title?
Well, let's see here. I've been so blessed to work with women for the last, I don't even know, more than 25 years. Okay. So I've always worked with women. And I find that just so often we hold ourselves back and we let the pressures of the world and the stress of the world do that. And I don't know, it just came to me. It's like, let's just take the girdle off the brain and allow ourselves something. So if y'all will be so kind as to do this with me, now I can't see you, but if you do it, it'll make more difference. So if you'll put your hands on the side of your head and I want you to put some pressure there. Okay, and just think about this. We're going to leave it here for a couple minutes and then I'm going to tell you, we're going to release it all together. But if you think about what is a girdle, and if you're too young to know what a girdle is, think of Spanx or pantyhose or anything that, that is tight and stuff, that you've tried to stuff yourself into. And I know that even skinny girls have that issue too. They always, we're always trying to make ourselves look better, different or something. And so think of something really, that's what a girdle does. It keeps us stuffed in. It helps us to maintain that image that we think we need to have or that we want to have, or we don't want a panty line showing. I'm being really real here, y'all. So sorry about that. So when we're always stuffing things, and so what happens is we keep this girdle on, which keeps all this self-doubt and the negative talk and all the doubts that we have in our life, it keeps them all smashed in. But when we release it, amazing things can happen. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to just release our hands together. And I want you to do them in an upward motion. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. So could you feel even a little bit of relief once you released your hands?
Yeah.
So when you have on a girdle or Spanx, just kind of, all of you've worn something tight at some point in your life. I mean, I just think every single person has. And if you think about what we're trying to do, so we're taking the rolls and we're trying to stuff them in there and we're trying to just keep this nice chic look that we want to have.
We want to look thinner than we really are. Yes.
Make us feel better. And so again, we do that same thing in our mindset, and we like to just keep believing either the things that other people have told us. Maybe you had a parent or a babysitter or a sister or somebody that just told you that you weren't enough, somebody who made you feel bad about yourself. And so we go along with this self-talk of not feeling enough, of not feeling like we have anything to offer, and it just stays squished in here, right? But when we release it, that whole releasing things, it opens up your mind, you guys. It opens up your mind to the blessings God has for you. It opens up your mind to all of the opportunities to have abundance. I'm not just talking about name it and claim it wealth. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about joy and peace, the abundance of love in your life, all of those things. But if you don't release that negativity and that negative self-talk and let that girdle off of your brain, you're never going to reach that place of abundance because you don't believe you deserve it. And you so do. And that's what God wants for you. So I'm being very real. I can't not talk about it. I can't not talk about it because I want you to believe and to realize all of how amazing you are in the first place, and the gifts and talents that you have. And that's where people like myself and like Emma Lou, we are here to help you find that within yourself, to know how really amazing you are, because it makes a difference in your personal life every day. It makes a difference in your families. When you can accept and love yourself, you have more love and acceptance that you can give to other people. And that makes every relationship better. So that's where that came from.
That is so true. We need to fill our own bucket first before we can help anyone else.
Absolutely.
Makes
Absolutely.
sense. And what is it about human nature that we immediately see what's wrong? We see the faults. We may go through a day and 20 things go just perfectly right. One thing doesn't. And we go to bed focusing on that one thing. And we
Isn't
do
that
that.
terrible?
Yes. And we do that with each other.
Yeah.
We'll look for the flaws in each other. But it sounds like when people hang around you, they're learning to just look for the good.
Mhm. And I hope that's true, Emmylou. I really do, because that truly is my heart belief, is that when you do look for good, you will find it. And the opposite is true. If you are looking for bad, if you're trying to nitpick, and most of the time when that happens, very often, the people around you who may be that way, they're always picking at you. Maybe they're pulling down on you. They don't believe in you. It's really because, and trust me on this, I've been around women for 25 years. Most of the time, the reason they do that is because of their own insecurities. They don't feel good enough on their own that they have to pick at you and make you feel worse so they can feel better. It's like a weird thing, but it really is very, very true. And when you realize it really has nothing to do with you, it really is all about them and how they feel about themselves. And so it's important for you to believe in yourself. And, you know, scripture tells us, and even those of y'all who may not be Christians, I know you've heard this, and to love your neighbor as yourself. Well, don't forget the as yourself. Most of us look at the love your neighbor and like love your neighbor and give to various ministries and take care of the poor and the homeless, and all of that's really good. That's great. But we leave off oftentimes that second half, love your neighbor as yourself. You have to love yourself, love the person that God created you to be. Begin to believe in the talents that you have. You know, what do you have to offer the world? And this is one that comes up a good bit. And they'll say, well, Delinda, I can't be like you. I can't be on the stage and flamboyant on site. Well, good. The world doesn't need any more of me. Okay. So, but what happens, what's so cool is very often those of you who have a softer personality, those of you who really feel better in small groups, maybe you are the best friend ever. If you are loyal and you have friendships, strong friendships, that makes a difference in the world. So don't compare yourself. If I have one little nugget to first of all, take the girdle off your brain. The second one would be don't compare yourself, because as you said a little bit ago, Emmylou, the more you compare yourself to others, the worse you feel, because we aren't anybody else. This salon I used to go to had this big mural on the wall, and it said, let's see if I can get it right. And there was a beautiful woman, you know, on this picture, and it said, just be yourself, everyone else is taken. And I love that, right? So just be who you're created to be, because you have a purpose, and everybody's purpose is different. And there's no reason to say, well, Susie makes better cookies, so she's a better person than me. Or Emmylou knows all about families, but I don't know anything about that. Well, then get with Emmylou and she'll help you. But we're here to help each other. We're here to support each other, to help pull out all that goodness inside of you. And so often we look at what we think is bad or that we're not good enough, and we try to get better and better at that one thing or those two things where we're not good, as opposed to, let me just tell you, if you would spend as much time on your good things, the things that you do well, and just continue to get better and better in those areas, those down areas will just flush away. Nobody really cares. But when you focus on your good strengths and just get better and better at them, it's amazing that, you know, the paradigm. So as you get better, it just goes out and you're getting better all the time. But when we focus on those couple of things that we don't do well, the thing is, they're not in our giftings. They're not in our talents, chances are anyway. So why spend time on them? Let somebody else do it. If you're bad at math, hire an accountant. You don't have to figure there and bang your head against the wall. So there are other resources that you can have to supplement. And I'll just tell you, I have some very strong points. I'm pretty clear on the things that I do well, but I'm also very clear on the things that I don't. So I just try to hire it or trade services. We have several people, Emmylou, in our group. I'll pick out Lisa Fredrickson right off the bat. Lisa has gifts that I cannot do in a minute.
She is amazing.
Forever. If I studied forever, I could never do what Lisa does.
Tech geek, yes.
Tech and her marketing skills and all these things. And I love her. But now, instead of in my former years when I was younger, I probably would have beat up on myself because I'm not as good as she is. Now it's like, thank you, Lord, for bringing her into my life, because now together, it's like this, when we come together, we're better, when we collaborate. So she has some areas where I help her, and she has many areas to which she helps me. And it's the same way when you surround yourself with positive people who really love you and care about you, and we all lift each other up, life becomes abundant. It truly does.
Oh, I totally agree with that. Now, I just want to draw the contrast. You touched on it earlier, that women can really be cruel to each other. I've been in groups where women are criticizing and just tearing each other apart. And then I've been in other groups like yours where they're supporting and they're appreciating each other's differences and encouraging. So I think that's one key right there. Make sure you're in the right group.
I think so. And it is your choice. If I have a banner, probably on my gravestone, somebody's going to say she believed in choices. Your whole life is made of choices. One of my favorite sayings, and I have a Tuesday morning show that I do live every week. And I always close it out with this saying that life is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. So choose wisely. You choose who your friends are. You choose how you spend your time. You choose how you think. You choose to let the girdle stay on your brain or to take it off. You choose everything. Your mindset is the key to it all. It's what are you going to choose today? Are you going to choose today to look for good in the people that you meet? Are you going to choose to be in groups that support each other? Because y'all, I don't have time for negativity. And if I get in places where it turns negative, I just choose to leave. I don't ever do it mean or yell at anybody or any of that. I just decide to phase myself right out. So again, it's choices, and there is power, so much power in choices.
And we choose who enjoys the benefit of our presence. And I like that. You can just quietly leave. Okay, now I want to bring this into the family. Let's just take a minute and imagine what our world would be like if every mother had this ability to take the girdle off, to believe in herself, to look for the good, to surround herself with like-minded people. What impact would that have? Well, we know it would have a huge impact on her children. So, what would it be like to grow up with a mother like that? And then if you had an entire society where all children were being nurtured in this kind of a home, what impact would that make on our world?
Well, I think it could certainly change. It could change our families, and it could change the world, because it happens. The family, as you teach, is the core of society. The family is the basis of how our society is run. And when outside forces begin attacking the family and pulling the family apart, society pulls apart.
That's the foundation.
It absolutely
foundation crumbles. And, so if we can, I love what you're doing, because you're reaching out to women. And I will be honest, women are the heart of the home.
They are. They are.
And they impact the mood of, what is that? If mama's not happy, nobody's happy.
Right, right. That's true.
So we need more happy mothers.
And how does that happen? And so that's the thing, because I can imagine some of y'all thinking that, well, yeah, that sounds really good, but how do you make that happen? And I think a part of it is, Emmylou, what your theme is, it's taking care of ourselves. It goes back to believing in yourself and believing that you're worth it. You're worth 15 minutes taking a bath if that's what you like. Now, if that's not what you like, don't do it. What is it? And if you're not used to taking care of yourself at all, taking 15 minutes probably seems like a long time, especially if you got little kids. Y'all, I have two children. I'm very blessed. They're now 42 and 44, which I can hardly believe because I am so young, but they were 20 months apart. And I'm telling you, I know, y'all, what that's like. My husband traveled all the time. So a lot of the time I felt like a single mom because he was gone and I had these two kids. And I know what that feels like, to not feel like you have 5 minutes in a day. So maybe you have to just figure out, maybe it's once a week, when your partner or your sister or someone can watch the kids for 15, 20 minutes or hire a babysitter for 1 hour. There's ways you can do that. And when you take care of yourself, like Emmylou said, mama's not happy, but the opposite is, if mama's happy, so is everybody else. So if you take an hour, but you might have to start with 15 minutes and take that bath or read a book or listen to a podcast or dance in the kitchen to music while you're cooking, whatever it is that releases some of that energy from inside you, even when you're dead tired. When you sometimes, now music does that to me. I'm all about music. I'm a singer, and music has a way of penetrating the heart, and it can just get in there and let you release some of those bad negativity, maybe it is, or the stress. And sometimes 10, 15 minutes of dancing around the kitchen with a hairbrush, singing to the radio, can totally change the mood of the whole house for the whole evening. So do what you can do to take care of yourself, and a lot of those other things will come. The other thing I'd like to say about that is, my kids, and like I said, God just sort of made me this way. But sometimes my daughter would say, Mom, do you have to be so happy all the time? It's like, well, yeah, I kind of do. It's bad. But that doesn't mean that everything was perfect in our house, because it was not. I mean, we had some major challenges like every family has. And if I learned anything through that, and my daughter's totally open, so I'm just going to put this out there, because I know some of y'all just think, yeah, what does she know about real life? Well, I've had real life. Okay. And my daughter is now 12 years clean and sober. She got addicted to prescription drugs, opiates, and it was hard. It was really, really hard. And many of the other things that go with addictive behavior. So if y'all have children in that situation, and through that all, what I probably learned the most was I often cannot change the behavior. I cannot change them, but I can love them. And if you just love those people in your life that maybe are the biggest challenges, your children, could be your husband, whatever that is, if you can just get rid of in your mind all of the they are, but not the choices they make. Okay, we don't have to condone the behavior, but we can still love the people, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right.
Yes, but it makes perfect sense.
And so if you can do that when you're going through those times, when your teenage daughter is running through the house screaming and how terrible you are and how all of that stuff, and it's like, Lord, just get me through this day. Now we're great. She calls me every day. We FaceTime with Henry every day. It's like, Lord, I could never have imagined the redemption. I in my humanness could not. But there is always hope wherever you are. but it does start, you do have to take care of yourself, because then you can love them, because you begin to realize if you're taking care of yourself, it's a lot easier to take care of other people if that's where you are in your life.
And I'm thinking, if a woman is having, well, I have done this. If I am struggling to believe that I have any worth, I pray. I look to my higher power, which is my Heavenly Father, and I ask Him, and He loves unconditionally. And I think, and I love the way you talked about, we love our children unconditionally. But if we can connect with that higher power and allow ourselves, open our minds and hearts to feel our own divinity, or at least ask someone that you know loves and cares about you. You know, occasionally I've done that. Just ask my husband, can you think of 2 or 3 things you like about me?
And that's actually a really good exercise to do. And I've done that several times myself, Emily. When I am coaching women, I very often have them do that. It's important who you ask. It needs to be someone that you know and trust, and you know that they love you unconditionally, and there might only be 1 or 2 of those people that you feel that safe with. And in my case, I ask the question, what strength do you see in me? What am I good at? Because sometimes we get fuzzy, like, what is it I do well anyway? And one of the times my husband said, he said, Delinda, you are like, it says you always put the pieces together. You're like a master puzzle. He says nothing ever stops you. You just figure out how to get that piece in the puzzle. And it's like, I didn't even know that about myself. So it's kind of cool. And you set it up by, when you ask somebody that, like if you have a best girlfriend or sister, just say, I just need 15-20 minutes of your time. Could we just sit down and they'll say, what it's about? Say, well, we do. Say, I just need you to tell me what positive things that you see about me. It could be maybe you're getting ready for a shift in your life, in your business, and you're just trying to get a little bit of sense of direction. And that best person says, well, you do this better than anybody else I've ever seen. And you might be shocked. Say, really? I didn't even know that. I never thought about that. I could always, and it is true. I do believe there always is a choice. There is another option, and I can always find a way to think about it a different way. I might not be able to fix everything, but so when you find out some of those neat things, it's amazing. And it makes you feel great. Like, thank you. But of course, be sure to do back to them. Say, thank you so much. I knew I could ask you because you're such a loyal friend. You mean so much to me. Make sure you tell them why you asked them, what was so important or what was so good about them that you even asked them the question.
And in the healthiest relationships, that's what we do for each other, isn't it?
It really is.
And if you honestly feel like you don't have anyone in your life, there is always God.
Oh, absolutely.
Just connect with Him, strengthen that relationship.
Mm-hmm. And there could even be, by doing exactly what Emily just said, when you're praying and when you're talking to God about that, ask Him to bring someone into your life. So, Lord, I need a person, a human being. I just pray you'll bring someone in my life that I can love and trust. And I'm just saying, He will. He will. And it might even be someone right now that you don't know how much they love and appreciate you for whatever the reason. Maybe they've always been afraid to let you know that they think you're amazing. And, by opening yourself up, I think so often, Emily, we tend to just keep ourselves closed in. When we are, if everybody wants to I'm a very visual person, you probably realize that. So if you really close your fist, and this is nothing new, you've probably been at other places and had somebody do this, but just really squeeze your hands really tight into a fist. Now, if somebody wanted to give you something, if you have your fist closed, how can you pick it up? Can you do anything with your fist closed? No, we can't, right? But sometimes we live our life that way. We close ourselves off and this downbeaten thing. Whereas it's the same as the girdle coming off the brain. But when we release our hands and we open up, our hands open and our hearts open, so we can receive the blessings, we can receive the friendships, the love, all of those blessings that God has for us when we're open and when we're looking for the good. Again, if you're looking for the negative, you're going to find it, and this is going to make you close in. But when you open up, and sometimes you might just have to do that to yourself, just like, okay, Lord, just help me to open up. It's magic. I mean, it's like when you open your arms and lift up, that's where you see so many pictures. And where you go to church, depending on, there's just sometimes when you're just like, oh, Lord, thank you for the blessings. So it's just like, pour them down. I'm going to take them, Lord. I don't want to miss any of them, right? But we have to be open for it or we're going to miss them.
And it starts by taking the girdle off our mind. And then we can open our hearts, open our hands, and receive. I loved what you said about abundance.
Yeah, I really believe, Jesus said, I've come that you might have life and have it in abundance, or that you might have abundant life. So, I mean, different translations, but it's all the same. He came to give us an abundant life, to bring that abundance into our life. And most of the time, it's missed because we're not looking for it, or because we don't think we deserve it.
Or we're closed in, or we're closed down.
Right. And if Jesus wants you to have it, why not have it? I mean, come on. God of the universe wants to give you abundance. He wants you to have joy. When you go to bed at the end of the day, you can have joy. When you get up in the morning, no matter what's happening in your life, you can still have joy, even amongst terrible circumstances. And it sounds weird, I know, but you really can. And it starts with having your heart open, to be loved and to love others as well.
Well, Delinda, I've heard you sing and you have a beautiful voice. If people go to your website, will they be able to hear some of your recordings? I know you've written blogs, you've done presentations. Is it all on your website?
So, I think it is. I do have a book, and I thought I should put that on my background here. So I've written a book that's called Fun, Fearless Female. That's my tag of everything. I love fun, fearless females. I want everybody is one. You just have to realize you are. And it's called How to Step into Your God-Sized Dreams. And it's on Amazon. And if you go there, I just went today because I thought I'm going to make sure it's still there. I mean, I don't go looking for that stuff myself. And it was, and some of my music is there as well. I'm not real sure. That's a great question. I'm not real sure that my music is on my website. For a while it was, but I'm on YouTube. So it's YouTube, Delinda Layne. So if you go to YouTube and look up Delinda Layne, Layne, then my YouTube things from the morning show, as well as my music is on there as well.
So they just need to remember your name, Delinda Layne, and that's the name of your website and your YouTube channel. Oh. And if they search for Delinda Layne on Amazon, they'd find your book.
Yes, they will. So
Delinda
I hope
Layne,
you'll go looking and reach out to me.
Delinda Layne, thank you so much for coming and sharing your spirit, your energy, and your love.
Thank you for having me. It's been such a blessing. You are just such, I love hanging around you. I love your spirit. It's because you love families, and that love shows, Emmylou. And so I just feel honored that I could be on here with you.
Thanks for coming. And for my viewers, join me again next week at the same time. Until then, love yourself and love your families. Let's make the world a better place by strengthening families. This is Emmylou Penrod with HealingYourFamilies.com.